Hey Ghosts, Eagle Eyes here. This video is a comprehensive overview of all the leaks and development updates concerning Ghost Recon Project Over. Why is this video being made? Before I came off Reddit, I made a similar post. I summarized all the leaks I was aware of in a comprehensive infographic. That post is now deleted off Reddit because I violated one of the community rules. It's a high possibility that I violated Rule 5, which says the mod team reserves the right to remove leaks from NDA protected sources. Story spoilers have to be marked or will be removed. This means that there could be some credibility to the information I posted. I personally believe there is. I do research work professionally, and in my opinion, when you see multiple sources affirming similar or the same things, that's reasonable grounds of that information likely to be true. Doesn't mean it's certain, but likely to be. Small disclosure, you might notice by the infographics that I've used appear to be AI generated, and they are. However, number one, I've read articles and leaks all year, so I'm quite acquainted with them. Number two, the best practice of using AI as a research tool is to give something for it to use. I placed my foundings for it to be summarized and to be digested in infographic form. No information in this video has been blindly prompted. I've fed AI tools with leaks, articles and posts that I've had summarized. With that out of the way, I believe this is the most comprehensive summary of Ghost Recon leaks that we have so far. You will notice information that will cross over slightly, but the chapters in this video will enable you to review what you wish. That's it from me. Hope you enjoy the video. Post this on Reddit for me if you can, as I'm not on there. Leave your comments in the comment section. Give this video a like. Eagle Eyes out. Leaked gameplay mechanics subject to change 1. Squad and base management from Jonathan Leak and NoobsFeed. Leaks describe an operational base that serves as the central hub where players manage their entire team. Within this base, players recruit operators, select which ones to send on missions, and oversee their long-term progression. Each operator levels up and gains experience developing unique strengths, weaknesses, and tactical value. Weekly objectives and progression systems are included, but they are reportedly implemented cautiously to avoid excessive grind. The base functions as the main center for planning, preparation, and long-term progression. According to the leaks, operator management is deeper than in recent Ghost Recon titles. Operator performance depends on mission success and survival, and squad composition is more important than ever. 2. Expanded details from NoobsFeed report. The NoobsFeed report explains that operators behave differently depending on the mission scenario, with each soldier having distinct strengths and weaknesses. The gameplay structure is described as more focused on tactical planning, preparation, and execution. Weekly objectives return, but Ubisoft is reportedly approaching progression systems more carefully to avoid grind-heavy mechanics. Early versions of the game included permadeath for operators during missions. Tactical sight, visibility, and sound systems were tested, and modern weapon systems and extraction-style influences are being explored. 3. Permanent death feature, multiple leaks. Early development reportedly included a permanent operator death system, similar to Hunt Showdown, creating high-stakes roster management. According to multiple leaks, this system has been removed or heavily reduced after playtesters found it too punishing and frustrating. 4. Development update, scope and priorities, Insider Gaming. Insider Gaming reports that the project's scope has been reduced. Some systems and content were cut, and resources have been redirected to stabilize production. Development priorities have shifted, and internal production restructuring is underway. The current focus is to bring the game into a successful beta stage by November. 5. Comparison to Ghost Recon 1. Ghost Recon 1 from 2001 emphasized mission planning, minimal HUD elements, one-shot lethality, squad command and control, methodical pacing, reconnaissance before acting, and realistic military simulation. According to leaks, Project OVR mirrors many of these principles. It emphasizes planning before deployment, reduced HUD and minimap reliance, high lethality and realism, operator roles and coordination, tactical pacing, environmental awareness, and a return to the franchise's tactical roots. Multiple leaks describe Project OVR as the closest philosophical return to Ghost Recon 1 since 2001-6. Creative direction and franchise outlook. The Next Web. Christopher Hartman, the head of the Tom Clancy brand at Ubisoft, has a history of refining franchises in previous roles. His involvement reportedly signals a stronger focus on franchise identity and a renewed commitment to core tactical gameplay. This direction suggests more consistent long-term vision, tighter creative oversight, less experimentation outside the franchise's core identity, and a deliberate effort to rebuild trust and deliver higher quality Ghost Recon experiences. 7. New management and leadership updates. Insider Gaming. Insider Gaming reports that Project OVR failed to meet internal alpha objectives, prompting Ubisoft to bring in additional leadership to stabilize development. Alternative production plans were proposed during internal reviews, and some within the company believe the new directors are executing what earlier feedback had already suggested. Bruno Gallet, a senior producer, was brought in to lead production toward alpha objectives. Jean-Baptiste Duval, the VP of production, is now more present on a day-to-day basis. Julian Sansalone, who leads the patches division, is coordinating cross-team work more closely. 8. How the leaks align with Ubisoft's direction. The leaks collectively indicate a return to tactical, realistic gameplay roots. They describe a focus on team-based operations, base management for long-term progression, high lethality and realism, reduced HUD and minimap reliance, stronger creative oversight, and a renewed emphasis on franchise identity. The direction appears aimed at reconnecting with core supporters and the traditional Ghost Recon audience. 9. What to expect next. As development moves toward beta, ongoing feature adjustments are expected. Additional playtesting sessions will shape mechanics further. More leaks and reports are likely as the beta approaches, and the final version of the game may differ significantly from early leaked builds. 10. The goal. Ubisoft's stated goal is to stabilize development, improve communication, and deliver a quality beta by November. The company is focusing on getting Project OVR back on track. Ghost Recon Project over Leaks 1. Test context. A confidential playtest for Ghost Recon Project OVR took place at Ubisoft Paris on June 4, 2025. The playtester contacted FPS QG and provided technical proof confirming their participation. During the session, no story elements, cinematics, or character-driven content was shown. The test focused entirely on gameplay systems. Everything the tester experienced was based solely on pure gameplay mechanics. 2. Setting and world. The game is built on Unreal Engine 5 and features natural lighting, dense vegetation, and dynamic rain effects. The biome resembles regions such as Vietnam, Laos, or Cambodia, with tropical jungle environments, tin and wooden houses, and rural police-style units. Signs written in Thai or Vietnamese reinforce the Southeast Asian inspiration. The previously leaked name Naiman does not match this biome and is likely either a codename or refers to a different region. Map. The map loads seamlessly with no transitions between areas. It contains a mixture of open jungle terrain and structured points of interest. The map interface is extremely minimal, showing no terrain relief or location names. Enemy camps are marked with blue circles, while friendly rebus bases are represented by a square accompanied by a helicopter icon, which may indicate spawn points or extraction zones. The tester explored the map for 15 to 20 minutes while in God mode. 3. Gameplay structure. 6 players are divided into 3 pairs, and each pair plays in its own separate instance. The game includes integrated VoIP for communication. The mission objective is to clear an enemy camp. There is no loot, no narrative content, and no secondary objectives. The gameplay is focused entirely on tactical infiltration. Enemy AI consists of militia units, local police-style units, and snipers positioned in towers. Reinforcements can arrive dynamically during combat. The AI is generally strong but occasionally behaves poorly, which is typical for an early stage build. 4. Perspective and UI. The game is played entirely in first person, with no option to switch to third person. There is no minimap, no mission markers, and no objective indicators on the screen. Players only have access to a compass and a quick action D-pad used for grenades, healing, and ultimate abilities. Free pinging is not available. Players can only ping enemies and the ping icon disappears after approximately 3 seconds. 5. Health system. The health system consists of 2 bars, a standard health bar and a dog tag bar. Dog tags can be replaced during combat through an animation similar to Warzone's armor plate replacement. 6. Movement and gunplay. Movement is slow, heavy, and grounded. There is no sliding, no contextual parkour, and no arcade-style movement. Weapon swapping is slow, and recoil is extremely strong. Silencers can be attached or detached freely. Comparisons. The pace and the movement weight resemble Ready or Not. The emphasis on coordination is similar to Rainbow Six. The dense jungle and tension evoke Gray Zone warfare. 7. Classes. Fixed, non-customizable. There are 4 fixed classes. 1. Assault Nomad. This class uses an ACR and a G17 and can deploy healing syringes. 2. Offensive. This class uses an MP5K and a shotgun and has access to an explosive drone that moves automatically and detonates on contact. 3. Support. This class uses a DMR similar to a G28 and a G17 and can drop armor plates. The tester considered this DMR the best weapon available. 4. Sniper. .50 cal heavy. This class uses a heavy .50 caliber rifle and a Recon drone that does not automatically ping enemies. Loot such as healing items, plates, and ammunition can be found on the ground, and all loot is instanced per player. 8. Overall impression. The tester described the world as massive, visually impressive, and highly immersive. Gameplay is slow, methodical, and heavily dependent on coordination. The combination of challenging AI and dense jungle environments creates significant tension. Team roles, communication, and positioning are central to success. 9. Open questions raised. The helicopter icon on the map may indicate spawn points, fast travel, or an extraction system, but its purpose is unclear. Customization remains uncertain because testers played as Nomad, Midas, Holt, and Weaver, with no option to create custom characters. Optimization is a concern as the build ran on modern PCs and older consoles will likely be excluded. The dramatic shift in gameplay direction suggests that Project Over may be a full reboot of the Ghost Recon franchise. Project Gone versus Project Over leak comparison summary. This infographic presents a structured comparison between 2 alleged Ghost Recon projects. Project Gone leaked in 2024 through a casting call, and Project Over leaked in 2025 through a confidential alpha test reported by FPS QG. The goal is to determine whether these 2 leaks describe separate games or different stages of the same Ghost Recon reboot. 1. Premise. Project Gone is described as a tactical military game focused on navigating the complexities of war. It places heavy emphasis on morality, psychological pressure, and the actions of a secretive military unit. The tone suggests a darker, narrative-driven Ghost Recon experience. Project Over, by contrast, did not reveal any story elements. The alpha test was purely gameplay focused, with a strong emphasis on tactical cooperation, immersion, and realism. 2. Setting. Project Gone implies a Southeast Asian setting featuring Thai-speaking characters and a military conflict involving civilian populations. Themes of war crimes and humanitarian crises are central to its narrative tone. Project Over also takes place in a Southeast Asian-inspired environment, specifically resembling Vietnam, Laos, or Cambodia. It features dense jungle biomes, Thai and Vietnamese signage, rural settlements, and local police forces. Gameplay. Project Gone is identified as a tactical military shooter, but the leak provides no concrete details about the environment, scale, or gameplay systems. Squad-based gameplay is possible but not confirmed. Project Over is fully first-person, supports 6-player co-op, and splits the squad into 3 pairs operating in separate instances. The core mission tested involved infiltrating and clearing an enemy camp. The game features no minimap, no objective UI, and relies heavily on player communication. 4. Combat style. Project Gon's combat systems are unknown, but the casting call emphasizes narrative realism and military authenticity. Based on its tone, the pacing is likely slow and tactical. Project Over features slow, heavy, grounded combat with strong weapon handling weights. Recoil is violent and movement avoids arcade elements such as sliding or parkour. 5. Team structure. Project Gon describes a secret military unit composed of 6 operators, implying character-driven roles and story-based squad dynamics. Project Over also uses a 6-player team but divides it into 3 2-man elements. VoIP is integrated and the gameplay strongly emphasizes coordination, communication, and positional tactics. 6. Roles/classes. Project Gon includes named operators from the casting call: Raphael, team leader; Ringo, Spengler, Ura, Anne, and an unnamed 6th operator. These characters appear to be narrative specialists with distinct personalities and backgrounds. Project Over features 4 fixed, non-customizable classes: by Assault Nomad using an ACR and G17 with healing syringes, Offensive using an MP5K and shotgun with an explosive drone, Support using a G28 like DMR and G17 with deployable armor plates, Sniper using a heavy 50 caliber rifle and a Recon drone. 7. The 6 operator comparison. Project Gon suggests a 6-person ghost unit composed of named specialists. Project Over uses 6 players divided into 3 pairs supported by 4 combat classes. The analysis notes that both leaks involve a 6-person operational element, which is unusual for traditional Ghost Recon titles that typically use 4-man fireteams. The shared structure is strong evidence that both leaks may refer to the same project. 8. Shared elements. Both projects share several core traits: by a tactical military focus, Southeast Asian inspiration, team-based gameplay, grounded realism, high immersion, a special operations unit. The possibility of a Ghost Recon Reboot 9. Key question. The central question is whether Project Gon and Project Over are actually the same game. Evidence supporting this idea includes: by the same geographic setting, a similar tactical military tone, a 6-person team structure, emphasis on secrecy and realism, no public evidence of 2 separate Ghost Recon projects in development. Evidence against includes different leak dates, 2024 versus 2025. Project Gon emphasizes story and morality, while Project Over focuses on gameplay. Ubisoft may have changed direction during development. 10. Conclusion. Project Gon appears to represent the original narrative and thematic vision for a Ghost Recon reboot, a story-driven, morally complex experience. Project Over appears to represent the current gameplay iteration, a tactical, cooperative, immersion-focused version of the same project. The prevailing community theory is that Project Gon was an earlier internal version of what eventually became Project Over. The shared 6-operator structure, Southeast Asian setting, and grounded tone strongly suggest they are different snapshots of the same reboot. The community's confidence in this theory is estimated at 70% or higher, indicating a strong likelihood that both leaks refer to the same evolving project. Ghost Recon Project Over NoobsFeed Leaks 1. Overview. Project Over is described as the next mainline Ghost Recon title. It focuses on realism, squad play, and immersion. Ubisoft has not officially confirmed the project, but the reported details match long-running rumors that the franchise is returning to its tactical roots. 2. Core gameplay. The core gameplay is built around a first-person perspective with slow and deliberate tactical pacing. Combat is highly lethal and weapon handling feels heavy. Players are expected to rely on stealth, room clearing, and environmental awareness. The HUD is extremely minimal and UI guidance is reduced. Players are encouraged to navigate without constant map reliance. The overall design emphasizes realism, consequences, and methodical decision-making. 3. Squad system. The squad system reportedly supports 6-player cooperative play. Success depends on squad coordination, individual operator roles, communication, tactical positioning, and teamwork. Missions are intended to be executed as a cohesive unit rather than through solo heroics. Planning and coordination are central to the experience. 4. Operators. Operators are described as specialists rather than fixed classes. Players select their operator before missions, and each operator fills a distinct battlefield role such as assault, breacher, medic, sniper, recon, or support. Squads are expected to balance their composition to meet mission objectives, and the game encourages thoughtful preparation before deployment. 5. World and setting. The world is inspired by Southeast Asia. It features dense jungle environments, rural villages, mountainous regions, hidden compounds, and urban areas. Night operations. Dynamic weather and harsh environmental conditions contribute to the game's sense of immersion and tension. 6. Immersion. Immersion is reinforced through minimal HUD elements, reduced map dependence, environmental navigation, slower movement, and deliberate actions. Combat encounters are designed to feel realistic and tense. Players receive no constant guidance or hand-holding and must rely on observation and teamwork. 7. Inspirations. Project Over reportedly draws inspiration from Ready or Not, classic Ghost Recon titles, squad-based tactical shooters, and military simulation philosophy. The overall direction emphasizes realism, teamwork, and authenticity. 8. Development context. Earlier reports describe Project Over as an internal codename within Ubisoft's future lineup. The project is said to be led by experienced leadership and is still in an early development phase. The intention is to return to the tactical military roots of the franchise, and the game is expected to be a major Ghost Recon release. 9. Latest updates. May 2025. The latest updates from May 2025 indicate that the project has faced development challenges. Internal alpha objectives were not met and production oversight issues emerged. The scope of the game was reduced and deadlines were missed. The beta was pushed to later in the year. Developers reportedly expressed concerns about crunch and layoffs. A creative lead update states that Tom Clancy will serve as the creative head for all future Tom Clancy games at Ubisoft, overseeing creative direction and authenticity across the brand. Conclusion. Project Over aims to return Ghost Recon to tactical realism, although recent reports highlight development setbacks and adjustments. Players are excited about the return to tactical gameplay, the 6-player squad system, the Southeast Asian setting, the emphasis on realism, and the minimal HUD. Reasons for caution include development setbacks, scope reductions, team restructuring, and the fact that all information remains unconfirmed. The confidence level in the leak is estimated between 65 and 75%, with details being consistent across reports but still unofficial. Ghost Recon Project Over. NoobsFeed leak, complete leak summary, and timeline. All of the information in this document is based on leaks and insider reports. None of it has been officially confirmed by Ubisoft. 1. Leak timeline. Let me walk you through the full timeline of leaks surrounding Ghost Recon Project Over. The first appearance of Project Over happened in September 2021 when it showed up inside the NVIDIA GeForce Now database leak. This was the earliest known reference to the project and came directly from the leaked NVIDIA list. 1 month later, in October 2021, Ubisoft issued a DMCA takedown to remove that database list. Torrent Freak reported the takedown on October 6, 2021, confirming that Ubisoft considered the listing sensitive enough to legally suppress. On June 4, 2024, a casting call leak surfaced for something called Project Gone. This casting call described a tactical military shooter, and the leak circulated widely through the gaming leak community and media outlets. Between December 2024 and January 2025, details from a confidential alpha test began to leak. These came from a closed test build and were shared by FPS OG and other members of the leak community. On May 12, 2026, NoobsFeed published gameplay details for Project Over. Their report described first-person gameplay, squad systems, and a strong focus on tactical realism. On May 15, 2026, Insider Gaming reported that Project Over had missed its internal alpha goals. This update highlighted development issues and delays. On May 21, 2026, Insider Gaming released another update, this time about a new venture involving the Tom Clancy brand. This report suggested changes in creative oversight for future Tom Clancy games. Finally, on May 23, 2026, Ubisoft officially confirmed Project Over as the next Ghost Recon game during an investor call. Ubisoft stated that the project was targeting beta completion before the franchise's 25th anniversary. 2. Project Over at a glance. Project Over is described as a tactical first-person military shooter. It features 6-player cooperative play with deep squad coordination. The game is set in a Southeast Asian environment inspired by Vietnam, Laos, and Cambodia. The design focuses on realism, immersion, and high lethality combat. The HUD is minimal and the game avoids hand-holding. Operators have distinct roles and strengths. The overall direction represents a return to Ghost Recon's tactical roots. 3. Core gameplay. The core gameplay revolves around a first-person perspective with slow and deliberate tactical pacing. Combat is highly lethal and weapon handling is heavy. Players are expected to rely on stealth, careful room clearing, and environmental awareness. The HUD is reduced and UI guidance is minimal. The game encourages navigation without constant map reliance. The entire experience is built around realism and meaningful consequences. 2. Project Over at a glance. Project Over is described as a tactical first-person military shooter. It features 6-player cooperative play with deep squad coordination. The game is set in a Southeast Asian environment inspired by Vietnam, Laos, and Cambodia. The design focuses on realism, immersion, and high lethality combat. The HUD is minimal and the game avoids hand-holding. Operators have distinct roles and strengths. The overall direction represents a return to Ghost Recon's tactical roots. 3. Core gameplay. The core gameplay revolves around a first-person perspective with slow and deliberate tactical pacing. Combat is highly lethal and weapon handling is heavy. Players are expected to rely on stealth, careful room clearing, and environmental awareness. The HUD is reduced and UI guidance is minimal. The game encourages navigation without constant map reliance. The entire experience is built around realism and meaningful consequences. 4. Squad and operators. The squad system supports 6-player cooperative play. Each player has an individual operator role. Missions require planning before deployment and are executed as a unified squad. Success depends on coordination, stealth, and tactical execution. Tactical positioning and teamwork are essential. Squads are built around mission objectives and operator strengths. 5. World and immersion. The world is inspired by Southeast Asia. It includes dense jungle environments, rural villages, local settlements, mountains, rugged terrain, hidden compounds, outposts, urban areas, and small towns. Night operations and dynamic weather contribute to harsh and immersive conditions. 6. Mission structure. Mission structure follows a clear flow. Plan, infiltrate, execute, and extract. Preparation is essential. Multiple approaches exist, but success requires coordination. Objectives are designed for tactical teamwork rather than solo play. 7. Development context. Earlier reports describe Project Over as an internal codename within Ubisoft's future lineup. The project is being developed by Ubisoft Studios with experienced leadership. Some concept art leaked during early development. The game is still expected to be a major Ghost Recon release. The intention is to return to the franchise's tactical military roots. 8. Latest development update. Insider Gaming, May 15, 2026. Insider Gaming reported that Project Over failed to meet its internal alpha objectives. Ubisoft responded by restructuring leadership and creative direction. New deadlines were set for beta completion before November 2026, which marks the 25th anniversary of the Ghost Recon franchise. Concerns were raised about increased crunch following recent layoffs. 9. New management and creative leadership. Ubisoft has restructured key leadership. A new project director was hired from the Rainbow Six team, bringing a stronger focus on tactical realism and player immersion. The Tom Clancy brand is now overseen by a new venture involving the Clancy estate. The head of this venture reportedly aims to align Project Over with the legacy, realism, and tactical depth associated with Tom Clancy games. 10. 25th anniversary target. The Ghost Recon franchise turns 25 in November 2026. Ubisoft aims to complete the beta by this milestone. This anniversary may serve as a window for a gameplay reveal or trailer. A full release is potentially expected in 2027. 11. Confirmed versus reported. The officially confirmed information is that a new Ghost Recon game, known internally as Project Over, is in development. This confirmation came from Ubisoft's investor call on May 23, 2026. Multiple sources report that the game features first-person gameplay, 6-player cooperative play, a Southeast Asian setting, minimal HUD elements, and a realism-focused design. Several aspects remain unknown or unconfirmed, including story details, PvP or multiplayer modes, release dates, and performance targets. 12. Community reaction. The general community consensus is mixed but leaning positive. Players are excited about the return to tactical roots, the emphasis on realism and immersion, the operator system, the minimal HUD, and the Southeast Asian setting. Concerns include reports of crunch, reductions in project scope, the shift to first-person gameplay, potential delays, and developer turnover. 13. Confidence level. The confidence level in the leak is moderate. Multiple independent reports described similar details and development goals. However, Ubisoft has not officially confirmed most of these details, and content changes remain frequent. All information should be treated as unconfirmed.
Thanks for watching Where Tactics Are Always Applied. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more content. Stay frosty. Eagle eyes out. God bless.